Bulunaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing these crimes, report them immediately.
I'm Polly.
And I'm Peter.
We host the Traffic Jam Show on City FM.
From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Do the right thing.
Yandabinaka, Fiji. In this bulletin, no income for airport taxi operators. Local root crop exporter loses $150,000. And government subsidizes FNPF payouts.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nunn.
But first this morning, more than 121,000 people have been screened for COVID-19 in the Greater Suva area. The Ministry of Health's target is 150,000 people to identify the symptoms, contain and prevent the spread of COVID-19. Mobile fever clinics made up of 180 personnel from the Ministry of Health, the Fiji Police Force and the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces are visiting homes to conduct the screenings in the Suva-Nosori corridor. The ministry is urging people to come forward when visited by the fever clinic teams and provide accurate information. There have been 5,958 screenings at 37 fever clinics located throughout Fiji. The Nandi International Airport Taxi Association is concerned that drivers have not had an income for a month now. Since the closure of the airport due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the taxi drivers have found it difficult to make a living. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
This used to be a bustling taxi base, now deserted with not a soul in sight.
Well, I'm not sure at the moment about all the drivers. There may be some people doing something here and there to meet the daily needs of the house, and it's a very tough time. That's what I can say. Nothing, no money for the last couple of weeks. We have not been driving, we have not been getting any money.
Nadi Airport taxi drivers have no source of income because under the law, the 66 taxis cannot operate outside the airport.
Since we say it's a $0 balance, $0 income, we earning at the airport. So means obviously finance is the main thing we're talking about because we're not getting any business from anywhere.
Most of the drivers are also sole breadwinners in their families and they're hoping things normalize soon.
Well, as far as I know, I've been in the airport for the last 44 years and this thing has not happened in the airport before.
According to Mustafa, Fiji Airports has assisted them by waiving base fees indefinitely. However, they're also calling on the relevant stakeholders to assist them in any way possible. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Navua-based Ben Trading Limited, a leading root crop exporter, has incurred a loss of $150,000 due to the restrictions amidst COVID-19. Managing Director Penny Moi says with minimal freight services, he has no option but to sell his root crops locally. The company buys root crops from farmers around Fiji to export to Australia, New Zealand and the United States. 200 of his employees are now working on reduced hours.
No, there is more than 70,000 farmers in Fiji, all over Fiji, depend on this company. Not on the western side, like Lautoka and Nandi, and Bar, and the rest of Fiji, we do buying from there.
The government has so far assisted 2,778 Fijians who've applied for COVID-19 assistance from the Fiji National Provident Fund. A total of 10,670 members have accessed their FNPF savings. Chief Executive Chauchi Koroi says of the $8.36 million paid out, $1.22 million was provided by the government and the rest from the fund. Koroi says they have queried 2,431 applications which have incomplete forms. These members have either failed to sign the form, certain sections of the form were not filled, or some have not submitted the requirements with their completed applications. Post-tropical cyclone Harold recovery work is underway in most villages in southern Lau, Yasayasa Moala and Kandavu. Government officials and representatives from various non-government organizations are part of the teams distributing disaster relief supplies. Minister for National Disaster Management Inia Seruiratu earlier this week stated that officials, while distributing food rations and relief supplies, will also be carrying out a detailed damage assessment. The MV Spirit of Love is currently covering Matuku, Moala and Totoya in Laos. The Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation, in partnership with Business Link Pacific, is looking at ways to assist small and medium enterprises amid the COVID-19 crisis. Business Link Pacific will be providing services such as business continuity planning, financial planning, human resource impact on operations, and business coaching to help SMEs through these difficult times. BLP Business Service Manager Ramesh Chand says through the help of the New Zealand government, they'll be able to provide a 100% subsidy package to support local SMEs.
So under these mentioned areas, we provide, for the time being, we provide 100% subsidy. And the subsidy is up to a maximum of New Zealand $5,000, which is equivalent to around 7,000 Fijian dollars.
Overseas, the New Zealand government has announced pay cuts, including for the Prime Minister. The move is less about balancing the books and more a show of solidarity as further economic struggles and support packages were outlined. And coming up after the break, all the latest in sports. Stay with us.
Oira na ngone no de nunu enda be singa ni mataka.
Merse sunga da kena loma dina kena mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitar lo bina no baksa ngai ka wala lo mataki na ngone. Dalo bina oya wo meliki.
Bulre oya wo Samuel Samuli.
Nama ki rau enda be mataka.
Boniti kena bagrombuka.
Ni boy tini kalima na miniti me ono kina tini na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji One na ndobo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka. Dan ramay na singabo.
Welcome back. The Fiji Rugby Union is waiting on police reports before taking any further action against two professional players who allegedly breached their self-isolation period.
At the moment, we are trying to determine the facts of the case and where the police will take further action after their isolation prior to making any decision on actions that will be taken by the Fiji Rugby Union.
In light of the COVID-19 crisis, the FRU is urging players to comply with all measures put in place to combat the spread of the virus. World Rugby Vice Chair Augustin Pichot plans to have a more inclusive approach if he is elected the new chair next month. Pichot revealed this in a Sky Sports Zoom interview with former All Black Jeff Wilson. Sponsorship for the Vodafone Trophy competition is still intact. Concerns were raised by the Fiji Secondary School Board on the availability of sponsorship in declaring the overall winner of the event. However, FNRL Acting Chief Executive Don Natambe confirms sponsorship for the event is secure.
I can confirm the Vodafone Trophy competition sponsorship by Vodafone is still intact, and the funding that is meant for this particular competition has been disbursed by Vodafone.
Cloudy conditions with a chance of afternoon showers over the group this afternoon. And that's your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।